Words hold a lot of power, don't they? Words can build up or break down. They can inspire us to see things in new ways and challenge us to new heights, where they can tear down and obliterate any hope of what might just be. In your life, I'm sure you've no doubt experienced the power of words, words that have harmed, words that have healed. Can you remember a positive word of inspiration, a word of power, or maybe even a phrase, a quote, lyrics from a favorite song, or a line of poetry? Any of those things that have shaped and continued to form you to be who you are today. Are these words of life? Are these words that empower you? Are they words or phrases that you carry in your heart that act as something like a creed that you hold on to through any of the experiences of life that you've gone through, both good as well as bad? Or are they words of judgment and belittlement? Words that still ring in your ears, even if they occurred years and years ago, or that your heart can experience them and still be broken by what it heard. Words that were uttered in a place that you thought was safe. Angry words that were spoken, or healing words that were left unspoken. All of those that have changed some relationships forever. The Bible has always understood the importance of words. The authors, whether they were Hebrew or Aramaic, Greek, they knew that words had the power to bring things to life. And from the very beginning, right? In the book of Genesis, God says, "Let there be light. And let the land begin to produce living creatures." That's all it takes to create light or to populate the universe. God spoke, and it was so. This morning, the Apostle John speaks quite a bit, perhaps too much, about the Word. But that was important. Remember, in the beginning, right? In the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God, and the Word was God. Everything came into being through the Word, and the Word was made flesh and dwelt among us. John, very much unlike the others, Matthew, Mark, and Luke, he doesn't speak at all about that cute little baby Jesus over there. Yet John begins his gospel as he does because he wants his readers or listeners to truly come to know this Jesus, the human expression of God's Word, God's wise and loving and creative Word. We know that the Word that imagined the diversities of all of creation also walked the shores of Galilee. And Jesus the Christ, whose glory we celebrate at Christmas, is the same creative Word that was present and is present in the very origins of all that we see and all that we know and all that we experience every day. My brothers and my sisters, the earth the sea, the skies, all living things, all expressions of love, all expressions of life and light, are places where we experience God's very own delight, especially God's own delight in each one of you. As we begin to leave Christmas for another year, and my goodness, it went by quickly, didn't it? We must remember that the Word became flesh and dwelt among us, full of grace and full of truth, and continues to do so. In each breath that we breathe, each choice that we make, each thing that we experience, God's loving Word, inspiring and directing us towards goodness and mercy and courage and justice and the truth. God's Word takes on flesh once more in each of us. As we step away from the manger, may this next season of Epiphany, a season of change for ourselves as individuals, and certainly change for this parish family. Show us and teach us. They renew us and surprise us and enlighten and direct us as we imagine how the Word made flesh still lives within and between us and loves us still. And I'm curious to know, can you hear it? And if you do, what are you going to do with it?